Welcome to the H1 Unlimited 2016 Year in Review. 11 teams competed for the 2016 National High Points Championship. Jimmy Shane, U1, HomeStreet Bank. Jimmy King, U3, Griggs Ace Hardware, Mr. Julio. J. Michael Kelly, U5, Graham Trucking. Jeff Bernard, U7, Graham Trucking. Andrew Tate, U9, Bellows Pizza, Sound Propeller, Les Schwab, Delta Realtrac. Tom Thompson, U11, Peters and May. Jean Theoret, U16, Oh Boy Oberto Beef Jerky. Brian Perkins, U21, Payne West Insurance, Albert Lee Appliance. Cal Phipps, U27, Dalton Industries. Corey Peabody, U57, Spirit of Detroit. Kevin Egret, U99.9, CarStar Miss Rock. The first race of the season was the Indiana Governor's Cup in Madison, Indiana. After 2 days of racing, the final was set. J. Michael Kelly in the U5 Graham Trucking got lane 1. Defending national champion Jimmy Shane in the U1 HomeStreet Bank was in lane 2. Cal Phipps in the U27 Dalton Industries in lane 3. Brian Perkins driving the U21 Payne West Insurance in lane 4. Tom Thompson in the U11 Peters and May was on the outside, and rookie Andrew Tate in the U9 Bellows Pizza Realtrac, the trailer. Cal Phipps had the lead coming out of turn 1 with Jimmy Shane driving hard. Jimmy Shane took the lead in turn 2 and never looked back. J. Michael and Cal battled back and forth for second place. On the backstretch of lap 3, J. Michael had to fly his boat back to the water after getting really high. Further back, Andrew Tate chased Tom Thompson for 5th place and eventually catches him. On lap 5 coming out of turn 1, Cal Phipps flies the Dalton Industries but gets it back on the water, while Jimmy Shane is less than half a lap to the victory. Phipps pushed hard and got back on the throttle, only this time the boat blows over. The race is stopped and Jimmy Shane is the winner, with J. Michael Kelly 2nd, Brian Perkins 3rd, Andrew 4th, and Tom Thompson 5th. The U27 Dalton Industries was severely damaged and will miss the next 3 races. The next race, Tri-Cities Hapo Columbia Cup. Andrew Tate in the U9 Gale Rue Construction Les Schwab lost a prop in a preliminary heat and took the second fastest qualifier out of the weekend. In the final, Jimmy King in the U3 Griggs Ace Hardware got lane 1. Jimmy Shane in the U1 HomeStreet Bank secured lane 2. J. Michael Kelly in the U5 Graham Trucking tried to sneak into lane 3, but after his move, Jean Theoret in the U16 Oh Boy Oberto moved back into lane 3, leaving J. Michael in lane 4. Brian Perkins driving the U21 Payne West Insurance got lane 5, and Tom Thompson rounds out the front line in the U11 Peters and May. It was a good start, and Jimmy Shane and Jean Theoret lead the field into turn 1. Jeff Bernard in the U7 Graham Trucking started in the trailer position, not a great place to go into turn 1. Brian Perkins chased the field and finished 4th. Tom Thompson came in 5th. Jimmy King had a great race and finished in 3rd place. Jimmy Shane and Jean Theoret battled for 2 laps before they hit in turn 2. Referees called a penalty on Theoret, so he slowed. Jimmy Shane was later penalized, and Theoret's position ended up being 2nd place. J. Michael Kelly pressed hard from the inside and caught Theoret to end up the winner of the Hapo Columbia Cup. Jimmy Shane held on to an 86-point lead in the national championship. Third race of the season, the Albert Lee Appliance Cup in Seattle. In the race before the race, Jimmy King, driving the U3 Mr. Julio, got lane 1, timing his laps perfectly. Andrew Tate in the Sound Propeller Les Schwab slid in and defended lane 2, zigzagging, preventing J. Michael Kelly in the U5 Graham Trucking from sneaking in. Kelly crossed the rooster tail of Tate's and found the U21 Albert Lee Appliance with Brian Perkins right there, and ends up colliding, putting him in lane 3, but taking himself out of the race before it began, incurring a 1-lap penalty. Jimmy Shane in the U1 HomeStreet Bank held back a bit and then drove up into lane 3 when he saw an opening. Brian Perkins got lane 5, and Jeff Bernard in the U7 Graham Trucking got a good start on the outside in lane 6. Jimmy Shane took command in the first turn, but the lead was short-lived as rookie Andrew Tate took the lead and never looked back. Meanwhile, in the back of the field, the trailer boat Jean Theoret, driving the U16 Oh Boy Alberto, blew a turbine after losing a prop. Jimmy King in the Mr. Julio then lost his engine and pulled into the infield. Jimmy Shane tried to chase Tate down, but could not catch him and finished in second. Andrew Tate won Seattle on his first try, a race his father Mark Tate never won. Brian Perkins finished third for the second time this season. Jeff Bernard finishes fourth, and teammate J. Michael Kelly finishes fifth. Tate became the third rookie to win the Seattle race. Jim Ranger did it in 1966, and Jean Theoret won it in 2005. On to the Hydrofest APBA Gold Cup in Detroit. Like a couple races this year, the 5-minute period before the start determined who could win and who could not. Fresh off his win in Seattle, rookie Andrew Tate, driving the U9 Delta Realtrac, tried to find the lane and ended up dislodging a buoy instead, thus giving him a 1-lap penalty. Jimmy Shane in the U1 HomeStreet Bank was looking pretty good to having lane 1, but J. Michael Kelly in the U5 Graham Trucking had another idea and made the move of the year to get lane 1. Jeff Bernard in the U7 Graham Trucking starts in lane 3, with Brian Perkins in the U21 Al DB Dodge in lane 4 and Andrew Tate in lane 5. Tom Thompson in the U11 Peters & May started in the trailer position. Jimmy Shane led down the front stretch, but J. Michael Kelly caught him in turn 1 and never gave up the lead. Jimmy Shane would finish in second place. Jeff Bernard had his best race of the year, picking up a third place. Perkins finished fourth. Tom Thompson came in fifth, and Andrew Tate came in sixth. And J. Michael Kelly wins the Gold Cup. An emotional win for J. Michael Kelly as he waves to the yacht club fans. It took him 13 years to finally win the Gold Cup after being so close a number of times.
No, it's okay.
And it's on to the last race of the year, the San Diego Bay Fair. The final race marked the return of the U27 Dalton Industries, but it was a tough weekend, and they didn't finish a single heat. Egret in the U99.9 Car Star Miss Rock scored its first heat victory in 1A, but that was the end of their weekend as well. In the 5-minute period, Jimmy Shane, driving the U1 HomeStreet Bank, having secured the 2016 National High Point Championship earlier, was looking good for lane 1, until J. Michael Kelly in the U5 Graham Trucking cut the course and took it. Just behind them, Tom Thompson in the U11 Peters & May was moving over to lane 3, when Andrew Tate in the U9 Delta Realtrac slid in to take lane 3, moving Tom out to lane 4. Brian Perkins started in lane 5, and on the outside, Jeff Bernard in the U7 Graham Trucking made a great start. Tom Thompson saw his lane squeeze down, and then got sprayed and lost sight going through a rooster tail. Jeff Bernard had the lead into turn 1, but the inside boats caught up, and Jimmy Shane came out with the lead. J. Michael Kelly stayed with Jimmy Shane until turn 1 on lap 2, when he went into Jimmy's rooster tail. That led to Andrew Tate taking over second place, and that is where he would finish. J. Michael Kelly would get his boat going again and finish in third. Brian Perkins would be forced out of the race after going through a rooster tail. Tom Thompson would finish in 4th. Jeff Bernard would bring in the Graham Trucking in 5th to finish off the 2016 season. Jimmy Shane in the HomeStreet Bank wins the San Diego Bay Fair and caps off the Miss Madison team's 3rd straight national championship.